cicatrice, being the fledgling of the cluckatrice, named the cicatrice until fully grown, possessing a steel-like beak and voracious appetite from the day it hatches. Currently considered a dire threat to the balance of nature in XII plains, and therefore recognized as a mark, along with the adult cluckatrice. Rock toys are being a great titantoise that has assumed the aspect of the boulders and rocks amongst which it matured. An unlikely story, one might think, until one considers that the average rock toise grows to adulthood over the course of several thousands of years. This individual was kept as a pet until it ran off into the magicite mines one day, whereupon it was transformed by mist into something violent and wicked and recognized as a mark. Orthos being an ancient inhabitant of the Garamscythe waterway with an inordinate fondness for comely maidens. Possessing a sort of chameleonism, whereby it assumes the hue of that which it consumes, it is said to glow as gold, for in the past it ate a merchant's store of coin. This creature consumed a thief's ill-gotten plunder, which she now wishes to return to its rightful owner. Thus has she petitioned the hunt for this mark. Cluckatrice being the adult form of the cicatrice, grown fat and many in number, thanks to the rich abundance of animal life available for the eating in XII plains. Recently, their environs have been sorely taxed by their voracious appetite, and thus have concerned villagers posted this mark. It is rumored that these creatures first lived in western lands, and were brought here by a merchant of little scruples, who released them into XII for reasons unknown. Gill snapper, being a giant titantoise called the gill snapper, for the high price its shell fetches at market. In the past, lawless hunters overhunted the snapper, and thus enraged, the titantoises struck back, assaulting innocent villagers and all else resembling their foes. One such snapper was caught by a village elder and sealed within a jar, but the weakening of the magics placed upon it set it free, and so was this mark petitioned. Trickster legendary chocobo of the purest white plumage. Though typically hunting in solitude in mountainous regions, it is ever a member of the flock, coming to the aid of its kin when danger threatens. A chocobo wrangler who was the victim of a band of mountain bandits and was saved by the trickster could not resist petitioning a hunt for this rarest of marks to wild enthusiasm from clan hunters across Ivalis. Antleon, being a variety of killer mantis residing in the deepest crags of the Lusu mines, aggressive in the extreme, known to flay alive such giant creatures as the nidhogg for its food, as it has no natural predators in the mines, and imbalance in the food chain is feared. Worried that her children may have wandered into the antlion's nest, a concerned citizen petitioned a hunt for this mark. Carrot being a Malbro kept in the imperial city as a pet by Madame Zamadria. Name, Carrot age, 8. Gender, female. Upon a journey to Nalbina to visit her husband, a member of the Restoration Committee, her dear Carrot escaped and made for its natural homeland in the Salika wood. Madame Zamadria petitioned a hunt for this mark to avoid unwanted scandal, being a legendary guardian protector of all that lives within the Feywood. Long thought to exist only in myth, until one brave soul ventured into the wood in search of proof, only to lose his life in the attempt. His friend petitioned a hunt for this mark. Gilgamesh, an ancient man of mystery, traveling the dimensions with his lone companion Enkidu in search of a legendary sword. It is said he confronts all adventurers he meets and challenges them for their weapons. Each of his 6 arms bears a weapon of great fame, yet there is no evidence that any are the genuine article, petitioned as a mark by a swordsman bereft of his beloved blade. Enkidu being the one faithful companion of the legendary Gilgamesh, chosen for his passing agility and fangs sharp enough to pierce solid rock, he views Gilgamesh as both partner and worthy rival in all things. Being a variety of nightmare, oft told of in legends of Ridorana, having the power to turn the dreams of men to terrors, then feeding off its victims' anguish. The petitioner of this hunt is a woman caught nightly by the dreams and unable to sleep. Pandemonium, being a titantoise with the aspect of a giant boulder, set to the great purpose of purging a shrine in the far north of an infestation of wicked creatures. The surface of its mighty shell is encrusted with hardened lava, and its legs are forever in shadow. In the north, it is called the Dark Toys for its coloration, and is revered as an anima of shadow. Phoenix, being a legendary avian said to have been tasked with the protection of the southern lands by the gods themselves. Its body is covered in feathers of rich amber, and its head is adorned with elegant horns. Called the firebird for the way it flames when climbing into the sky, and revered as an anima of the sun. Slit, being a great sandfish, protector of the lands stretching from the continent to the east unto the very edge of the world. Its scales create a curious pattern of hues, containing all the blues of the sea. The people of the East liken its appearance to a worm that dances in the night sky, and so do they call it the blue worm, revering it as anima of shadow. Fenrir, being a giant in the form of a great white cat, revered as a guardian spirit high in the snowy crags of the mountains far to the west. Its sharp, silvery stare robs those who face it of their will to fight, and its vicious claws rip through flesh with ease. It is called the white tiger for its striped body, and worshipped as an anima of the sun. Shadow Seer. Being a seer, with the eldritch power to read the fate of men and kingdoms, by the movements of the celestial bodies and the flow of mist, twisted to a thing of evil by a great flux of umbral energy. The shadow seer may draw on both the power of darkness and that of light, being able to summon both anima of shadow and anima of the sun at once. Fearing its evil will, Mont Blanc wisely recognized this mark. Yasmat I, deity among dragons, one great worm to rule all worms of the world, by the Creator himself created. Legend says it is an anima, guardian to a sacred blade. Though most sacred amongst its kind, its great power drove it to madness, and in the end, it became a threat to its own creator. His master was killed by Yasmat, robbing Mont Blanc of all joy in life, and he would have revenge.